Thank you, Representative Jefferson, and thank you for your time and attention to this committee. I know you've had a long morning and now after lunch. I'm Melissa Flournoy. I'm the board chair of Louisiana Progress Action, and I'm here today to say thank you to Representative Barbara Norton for her tireless effort and commitment to continue to bring the equal pay legislation to Louisiana. We're 50th, and we have been 50th for the last 30 years. Since I was in the legislature 30 years ago. We've had the same conversations that we can do better. Ms. Representative McFarland, I appreciate your efforts and your discussion about community colleges and efforts to help people get real jobs and the opportunities that are available. I ask each of you to go visit the poorest neighborhoods in your district, to take a minute, an afternoon, and go and meet women with children struggling to get by, many of which work on minimum wage jobs. And I wish they were training wage jobs. I wish you would pass a bill that would say minimum wage is good for the first 6 months of a job and people could get improvements thereafter. What we have in Louisiana is a crisis of a tale of two cities and two realities. In the state of Louisiana, according to the United Way ALICE report, which stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed, 20% of the families in Louisiana live in desperate poverty. Another 28% live in what is considered an ALICE household. That is, of our 1.7 million households in Louisiana, over 800,000 people are financially fragile. Unfortunately, many of those households are led by women. We've talked a lot about pink-collar jobs or white-collar jobs or blue-collar jobs or firemen. We really do need to talk about pink-collar jobs and the limitations, as Mrs. Guillory talked about, on the jobs and the pay scale for different women. But today, I realize this legislation isn't going to pass, but we wanted to take our time today to talk about working families, to talk about working parents, about the challenges for access to child care. Many women are not able to get better jobs and have higher salaries because they can't afford child care. So it'd be nice if the state of Louisiana would support increasing subsidized child care. We heard a woman earlier today talk about having been forced to go back to work within 2 weeks of having a child. We would love for Louisiana to pass paid family leave. We would love for Louisiana and the people of Louisiana and the leaders of Louisiana who claim to be pro-life, who talk about Louisiana as the most pro-life state, to actually be pro-family, to be actually pro-children, to actually look at the lives and the quality of life of the women and their families in Louisiana. So the question today, the conversation may be about equal pay. We know the outcome on this legislation, but the real question is what do you value? And who do you value? And what does leadership mean for you? We have women every day struggling to feed their families, take care of their children, to earn a living. They don't have the luxury of access to transportation or access to education. So today the conversation is really about what kind of Louisiana do we want to live in? What are you willing to do? And until you have gone and met with the least of these, my brethren, in your own region, in your district, and take a day and go with a minister. I've spent 30 years working in nonprofits. Contact the United Way. Contact a local nonprofit. Go and sit down and listen to the families of Louisiana. Learn a little bit about the plight of these families, and hopefully if you're able to get reelected and come back next year, you will come back with clarity and compassion and understanding of the challenges facing our communities. Thank you, Representative Jefferson.
Thank you all so much. We do have no other individuals to speak in favor.